Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Lincoln. Little blurry eyed, but I thought I would uh, give you guys a little look back at last night. I figured, hey, you know what? With the win like last night, let's first off check and make sure you're getting me before I roll the open here. Let's do that. Let's go and roll the open, and then we'll come back to this in three, two, one. Here we go on Monarchs Mocha. Oh yes, you're hearing. Hold on, hold on. One, two, one, two, one, two, one, two, one, two. There we go. All right, you guys are hearing me. That's good news. All right. Let's stop the jams there. All right, make sure you hear me. You are hearing me. Thumbs up if you are, and you are hearing me. Glad you guys are along on Monarchs Mocha. And sorry about that if you weren't hearing me. Good afternoon to you from Lincoln. I guess I just kind of show you outside. That's outside of Lincoln. Well, sort of. There you go. There you go. We usually go to the mill, but honestly, sort of trying to play catch up. It was 11 hours and 18 minutes getting here overnight, and you can kind of see that I look like 11 hours and 18 minutes. I got a little bus hair going, or either that or a Southeastern Conference coach in the early aughts or late 90s, something like that. But anyway, glad you're along. The show is Monarchs Mocha. We're brought to you by the Roastery Coffee Company. I'll bring that to you in just a moment. Not a lot of production, except for I've got your good news highlights. I do have those. So we will get to those in just a second. And we'll take your quick questions and comments. We won't be here very long, but long enough to give you highlights. Team arriving about, it was about 10:45. We've been here a couple hours now. I actually kind of laid down just a bit. But anyway, lunch hour, whatever you want to call it here. It's now just a little bit past lunch hour, but team crossed the border. The rain we talked about last night that kind of kept missing us. We got it early in the ball game. We got it on the way out. We really, when we hit the edge of Winnipeg, and it was actually, the funny story was the Empire Hotel, which about 2 miles west of where we were staying in downtown, they were getting pounded by rain all day. We didn't there in the exchange area last night. And that really was, I don't know why we're not getting any. Where is everybody today? Where is everybody today? Where is everybody today? Where are my chatters? Where are you guys at? Where are you guys' questions and comments at? Everybody just disappeared on me live today. I'm coming to you live after 11 hours on a bus. Come on. Anyway, brought to you by the Roastery Coffee Company there in Kansas City. And I know maybe it's got to look at me. Is that what it is? You got to look at me with this look today. I do promise you I got highlights in a moment. But yeah, the rains, when we crossed the border last night, the U.S. Border Customs, it was raining pretty steadily, and it rained basically, oh gosh, in and out of Fargo, in and out, even down to Sioux Falls. We got to Sioux City. We crossed a little early last night, went across in Nebraska right before you get to Sioux City, kind of a back away because there's a lot of construction in Omaha and getting across the Paints. We kind of came around that way. But anyway, got in about 10:30, 10:45, something like that this morning. And our friend John West was here to meet us. Of course, did not make the trip to Canada. There we go. There's yes. This hotel, I gave a tour of this place a couple of years ago I believe in the 2019 season, I gave a tour of this. I wish I had, can you see? This is the Graduate Hotel, and it's very retro, very cool. As a matter of fact, let me just kind of, I know this is kind of a pain for you guys. This is the room here. Nothing's obviously been, but I want you to see the decor here. This is the bulletin board to my right, and it's got this. Let me see if I can pull this out a little bit here. Well, actually, it's backwards. You know what? Let me do this. Let me mirror the camera. That would help, first of all. Let me mirror the camera because you got me backwards. By the way, I noticed last night the Border Patrol, they actually, the customs guys, they, there we go. We're back normal. They actually have the same cameras that I'm using here. Yeah, this is really cool. Can you guys see this? Do you see that right there? That old school TV? That's an old school TV right there. And that old school TV, the screen's out, but that's where they've got the water and the coffee and etc. That hotel phone right there, it's a rotary dial look, but it's actually a touch tone or touch dial. The little skate there, kind of cool. Yeah, kind of cool. Again, this is the Graduate. This is a chain of hotels. A lot of college towns, although there is one. There's one in New York City that's between Brooklyn and Manhattan in the little island there between the river. I guess that'd be the East River. Is that right? Because the Hudson's on one side. The Hudson's on the big side. The East River's on the smaller side, Brooklyn side. But anyway, let me show you this again. This is what I was going to show you. This is the bulletin board, like it's an old dorm. There you go. It's got an old dorm right there. And it's got, of course, that light in the corner down there. It says Flyover States. It's got the old school postcard. And right here is the photos above the, this is that's the guy who made Kool-Aids. And another picture there. And Ole Miss, Nebraska, and Nebraska laws on paper. Just some fun stuff, making it local. But it's the college vibe. We're on the edge of the campus. We're in the Haymarket area, which is right up. We're right there. And across the street is basically the University of Nebraska. And the state capitol's over my left shoulder. You can't really see it out the window there. Well, maybe. I don't know if you can. But yeah, kind of cool there. So yeah. So that's not what I gave a tour of this place, like I said, I think in 2019, and it's really cool. I mean, it has this desk that I'm at. It's an old school desk, but it's got things like this, these drapes. They're corn. Can you see them? Can you guys see them? No. Not the best camera work. There we go. Cool stuff. But it has the old school paneling. Again, it sort of feels like a dorm. The little, you put your little thing on the door that says you don't need maid service. It's actually a little pennant that says study. So if you're sleeping, you're studying. It's the little pennant. And again, it's cool. It's a cool little place. On the wall is a map of Nebraska. One's a old map of Lincoln. And it's a really cool place. So yeah, it's an awesome place. And again, the phone. See the phone to my right? That's actually, it's a touch, but it looks like an old phone. And then right there, that skate lamp. It's kind of cool. So anyway, all right, I won't be very long because I'm hungry. I got to work out. I want to get going. Got game notes to do. And I'm trying to get myself revved up with some coffee. I'll go down to the mill and get going and wish I was having coffee from the Roastery Coffee Company. 6 locations in Kansas City. Of course, they bring you this show. And you're wondering, what's this guy talking about on Facebook Live and on YouTube Live with the Monarchs about the Roastery Coffee Company? There we go again. Is that the Monarchs on a 3-game winning streak on this road trip? And let's talk about it from last night. Let me show you last night. I'm going to load the highlights in. They should be done because I was scrambling to get those done. And I got the good news highlights. Thanks to Stino for some help in that as well. Now let me get these for you. I'll give the border story in a moment. It's kind of actually funny. The border story is sort of funny from the standpoint of the show because what you're watching me on this camera is the exact same cameras the U.S. government uses, the Logitech cameras. they use the exact same ones to take our pictures and get your video there at the border. So there's that. So I do find this camera here, that's what the U.S. government uses. So that's how good it is, because it's good quality. But yeah, how was it going through? It was raining. The process coming over and really coming and going was not bad at all. The only problem we had coming over was the bus driver. Michael dropped us off or changed drivers because he couldn't make the whole trip up. He stayed back in Fargo for 3 days. And we had another driver, Howard, took us up across. Howard had not been across in the bus, and he was in the wrong lane, but it was there was no traffic at the time we were coming in that mid-morning, and it was all good. We got off the bus, and we went into they took us into a garage, closed the garage behind you. We went off the bus, got our checks there at the Canadian Customs. We were back on the bus pretty quickly. I would say within 10, 15 minutes. Coming back, same thing. We got off the bus. It was only drawback, it was raining. And it was very smooth. It was a smooth cross, both coming and going. And, I think it's because of the Monarchs, Jay Hendricks, and also Jared Bashaw, to the captain Jared, our trainer, who did a lot of the paperwork and kind of got the guys' apps and all that going. There's an app called Canada Enter or Enter Canada, and all those were done right. And there was no trouble. So that shows you a team that had 25 people traveling, 26 people traveling across. Everybody had their app right and all that. That's pretty impressive, because a family of 4, and Han, you probably know this, party of 6, you're trying to travel international. That's going to be that's tricky, right? So it was all good last night, and coming back in the rain and getting in here just about, like I said, 10 o'clock or so this morning. 11 hours and 18 minutes back, and that includes the stop at the border. We had a rest stop, I believe, around Sioux Falls-ish, just north of Sioux Falls. Another change, then changed the driver, got Michael back in Fargo. And, Jared did a great job last night. Good stuff from Jared. Yeah, tip the cap to Jared. How about that? The dude's a legend. All right, last night, Kansas City getting a win, and what we thought we really, I got to tell you, yesterday, I wasn't so sure we'd play until I went on the air and I looked out the window and saw, well, it's not raining, so let's just go about our business as we're going to play. Well, that's exactly what happened last night. Kansas City did play. The rain did stay away after the first couple innings. So let's roll the good news highlights from last night. Kansas City got a 3-home run night last night. 2 from Ryan Grosjean, 1 from Big City, which was a jet engine. The other big thing was that Jordan Martinson. You've now tossed 3 straight quality starts on the road at Winnipeg with the team with the second best home run offense, power offense. They hit 1. I'm sorry, did they hit 1 or 2 home runs in the series? They just hit 1, right? Or they hit 2? They hit 1. Am I dreaming Tuesday night? They had a solo shot or 2-run shot. I think they had a 2-run shot on. They had 2 home runs, 1 in each first and the third game. My memory is kind of foggy. And by the way, this one tidbit too, that was the second sweep of Winnipeg in Winnipeg by this franchise, and it came in 2019 as members of the then T-Bones won 3 in a row in May of 19. So there's that. The last 2 trips to Canada have been sweeps. How about that? All right, let's roll the highlights from last night. The good news highlights from Canada. Here we go. Oh, Canada. Well, here's one line to right down the line. That will get down, bang around the corner. Here comes Sweeney. He'll score. Casey races for 2. John Hernandez will be held at third base as the throw comes back in. An RBI double for Casey Gillespie. And we are tied at 1 here in the 4th inning. I would say we're probably batting about 800. 1-1, hit out toward right. Over toward the corner at the warning track. This ball's going to be gone. A towering home run for Ryan Grosjean. See you later. He's got his second. RBI number 6. It's 2-1 Kansas City. A towering home run that just cleared down the right field line. And watching Max Murphy, he knew that was hit pretty well. And see you later, Ryan Grosjean. Looped out to the right, going out, coming in. That'll drop for a base hit. One run is home. Scarra's coming around. Throw will come in, and it is in time. They got it, but they did get a run home. Throw from right field. Got J.C. Escada. John Hernandez does score the RBI for Cosma. It's 3-1 Kansas City. Bill Simon's on the 6th. There's the pitch. Trapper right back to the mound. There's Martinson. The second for one. On to first. Oh, yeah. Turn him. Burn him. Double play. 1, 4, 3. Pitchers. Best mate right there. Oh, man. Oh, man. 18th. 2-1. Here's one towered out toward right center field. That's pretty well hit. At the warning track. That ball's going to be gone. See you later. He's gone yard again. A solo home run for Ryan Grosjean. He will touch them all. See you later. It's 4-1 Kansas City.
Right back to the mound. There's Martinson, the second for one.
And the Monarchs. Another long ball here. Again, they set up away. Here's the 1-2. Here's one towered out towards center field. Drifting back is Pruitt. Still going. Still going. That ball's going to be gone. See you later. 3-run home run right below the scoreboard. A big city bomb. It's 7-1 Kansas City. Oh, man, oh, man. That thing had jet engines on it. Oh, man, big city time. His 27th RBIs, 83, 84, 85, 7-1 Kansas City. Out in Canada, here's the 1-1. Ground ball left side. Here's Cosma. Second the easy way, and you can notch this one. It's a Good News Thursday final score. Kansas City 7 and Winnipeg 2. The Monarchs took all 3 games north of the border. A Good News Thursday 7-2 Kansas City. And that's last night's Good News highlights. There we go, as Kansas City gets the win. And yes, yeah, the right fielder hung his head a little there. He did. The reaction on the Matt Adams home run, I don't know if I can run that back for you. Let me see if I can get this one. Well, let me mute it. Let me see if I can. Let me mute it and stop it. And let's see if I can get that for you, because the reaction of the let me get this here. The reaction of the catcher on the Matt Adams home run. I want you to watch it here. It's coming up here. Okay. Now watch this reaction.
Right down the line, that will get down, bang around the corner. Comes Sweeney, he'll score. Casey races for 2. John Hernandez will be held at third base as the throw comes back in. An RBI double
here we go. Watch
for
this.
Casey Gillespie.
Well, okay, I got it just a second. Stop. Watch the catcher there. Watch his reaction as he sees the ball go off bat, and watch him go. Hits the ground. You see him hit the ground? Dude, watch this again. Watch him hit the ground. Watch him tap the ground again. That was not good news last night. I don't know if you guys saw that, but anyway, it didn't look like you guys saw that. Basically, Gonzalez, the catcher, he's setting. He eventually set up outside, and then won that ball outside. It didn't matter. He nails that ball, but his frustration is he kind of nods his head and hits the ground, knowing that ball was gone. And again, the right fielder hung his head as well. Everybody missed the double play. That was a big play as well last night, as well. That again, at the time it was a 4-1. The time was 3-1 because Grosjean hits the home run in the 7th, his second. So it's 3-1. Tying runs at the plate and double play ball with 1 out after the back-to-back walks. And that was really the only really scary moment. The solo home run came in the 3rd, but there was no one aboard. And really the only real seatbelt moment right there, fasten seatbelt moment, was that one back to 6 and on to first base double play. A little turn and burn him, pitcher's best made. And again, that was great. Martinson. And I went back and I told you guys this in the broadcast last night. His starting numbers in college were great. He had his final year at DBU, he had a sub-3 ERA as their number one starter. So this is a guy who's been there before and started, hadn't been with the Monarchs, but it's something we talked about in the same case as Matt Hartman. Remember, Hartman came in looking to more be a starter in spring training, went the bullpen, now is starting, who we'll see tonight, by the way. And, you see the depth of this pitching staff. And it's funny, I was talking about this with Jackson over the weekend. Remember, we brought this up on Sunday. We're looking at the roster, who was going to be the guy that come in and pitch. McGrain was a guy threw out there because McGrain had done it before. Last year was a starter, reliever kind of deal. And for whatever reason, I just assumed, because Joe even told me last night in the pregame, he said, you're taking Martinson from a position of strength, which is what they've got, a left-handed lockdown guy in the bullpen, and then you take him out and you're robbing from Peter to pay Paul, so to speak. It's not what he said, but that's what the gist of it is, to a situation where, you put him in the rotation. Well, that rotation went up, got a big strengthening boost right there. Now, yes, you did leave a hole in your bullpen from the left side, but I would tell you it's easier to fill a bullpen piece and build a bullpen on the fly than it is to build a rotation. I think that's always been the thought in baseball. It's a little easier to go from the rotation to the pin from the pin to the rotation. And that's usually easier to build. I mean, you see big league teams do it all the time. They build bullpens on the fly. Literally will build a bullpen on the fly, and they just kind of see the arms that they got. And that's sort of what we've done here too. Then you had your roles, but now you're needing Martinson, and you had 3 straight quality starts. He was outstanding. Bells was outstanding in the opener. And boy, Brock Gilliam was outstanding. I mean, those guys are all outstanding, pitching ahead, working quickly, all had good tempo. And you went to Canada with 1 starter named and 2 TBAs. Gilliam and Martinson went and were outstanding. Belzer was outstanding in the opener. And you went through, it was a very daunting week on the road with some question marks, and those were answered big time. And that's a big tip of the cap to Joe Capietro, Bill Sobey, Frank White, John West, and just what they've done in the depth that Joe's put this roster together. Now you're back to a situation where you've got Matt Hartman tonight, and then you're looking at Matt Hall on Saturday and back to Belzer on Sunday. The update we expect this afternoon from Joe on the top step about Lewis Thorpe. He was on the rooming list. I didn't see him here yet. That doesn't mean he wasn't. It doesn't mean they aren't here. The guys that didn't make the trip up are on the list to be here, but it doesn't mean they're here yet. We got in, and they could be in any could have been any time, and could have been already here. So didn't see them. It doesn't mean they weren't here, but we'll get an update tonight at 6:00 on your Swope Health Report, and also on the top step, which will come your way about 6:15, 6:10 here from Lincoln. All right, quick show here. I'll give you guys a last call and questions and comments. Good to see Hope out there. Who else is out there? Gosh, several of you folks. I know some of y'all kind of flew by. It's just after lunchtime. Broadcast tonight, we're back here in Lincoln. They do a great job with their stream, one of the best in the league. And Michael Dixon and his crew, always phenomenal work. And I do believe we'll have the good dual stream going as well. And if I can find what I'm looking for, there we go. So AA Baseball TV tonight. Of course, Winnipeg had it too, and we were very thankful for them up there. Steve Schuster and that bunch. So AA Baseball TV be around. I think I said 6:00. Monarchs Lives at 6:00. I'll have an update for you because I will have talked to Joe by then. Pregame starts at 6:30. So 6:30 pregame show on AA Baseball TV. That'll start about 20 till, quarter till. Whenever Lincoln flips their switch is when we'll be on. We'll be plugged in though. But we'll have to wait and see how that works out for them. And then we'll be on the radio side, of course. That begins at 6:30 tonight. 6:30 we'll play the music. About 6:35 we'll come on and we'll have the Monarchs and the Salt Dog pregame show. Already done a little work for the pregame show. Let's see, today I'm talking about the American Giants and the Monarchs playing in Indianapolis. Interesting story there. and we're going to dive in a little bit of the history of the Indianapolis ABCs, which we've talked about them a lot, but I figured we'll get into a little bit of them, and an interesting story where their ballpark still sits today. They're in Indy. We'll talk about that tonight on Monarchs 101 with DV, the master's class of Monarchs content. Again, this is Monarchs Mocha. We are brought to you by the Roastery Coffee Company there in Kansas City. My name is Dan Vaughn. Glad you guys stopped by for a few minutes here this afternoon in the Friday. Happy Friday to you, by the way. Happy Friday to you. And hoping the Monarchs tonight and the Lincoln Salt Dogs from here in Lincoln's Haymarket Park. Lincoln comes in. They did win a series in Sioux City. Quickly, I can tell you the standings in the division. I didn't put the graphic up, but let me give you the division standings. Chicago's 4.5 games clear, Milwaukee and Kent County in the East, and then Cleburne's 11 back, but they now have a 1.5 lead over Gary with the win last night. They took 2 or 3 from the Garys, and they have a 1.5 lead for 4th position in that back and forth. Gary's there one week, Cleburne's there the next week. They've been back and forth literally every week for the past 4 weeks. That thing's gone back and forth, and now it's Cleburne, the chalk, with the lead in the West. Then in the East and the West, Fargo clinched the playoff spot last night. Now, depending on my math, I do believe Kansas City would clinch tomorrow night a playoff spot. I do believe that's what my math says. I will double check this afternoon, but they won their 56th ball game, and their magic number is 15 for the division, but their playoff spot's been punched. I believe ours will be punched tomorrow with the win, with 2 wins, I believe. I got to figure that out again. The magic number against getting in is a little different than not getting in. I mean, than to win the division. Our magic number for the division, I believe, is 18 games. So, 17 games, pardon me, because we have the head-to-head. Winnipeg is 9.5 back. They dropped in the standings, 6 behind Kansas City. So some cushion there in that 3rd position or 2nd position for Kansas City. And then Lincoln with the win last night, tying Sioux City. They have the head-to-head and percentage points advantage over Sioux City right now in the 4th position in the division. So there you go. That's your standings right there. Again, tonight, broadcast from Haymarket Park begins at 6:30. And come your way at 7 o'clock, the Monarchs and the Lincoln Salt Dogs. You guys ready for some 1, 2, 3 go Monarchs? I know you guys are ready for that, right? Excuse me. Little dry throat right there. I need some roastery coffee, don't I? All right, here we go. I'll see you guys in the broadcast tonight. And we made it to Lincoln 11 hours and 18 minutes later. But hey, when you sweep 3 in Canada, you feel good. The drive was outstanding last night for the Monarchs, crossing the border and getting in here to Lincoln. All right, here we go. Let's get some rest. We will get some rest, mate. Appreciate you. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Go Monarchs. I'll see you in the broadcast tonight, everybody.